they're faring on very well, and they're really good. And I'm so thankful that we got a woman MP, woman speaker.
But we have already had a woman speaker. Kadaga served for like 2 terms.
This term.
Now those are 3 terms constantly with the Madam Speaker.
And that's why I'm very happy. Even happy.
Cool. Talking about speakership, today in the Daily Monitor, the date has been set for return of Olanya's body, and the body of the Speaker of the 11th Parliament is expected to be flown into the country by Ethiopian Airlines from the United States of America, where he died. And you'll read the full story on page 4 and 5 of the Daily Monitor. And there's a pictorial here of relief at last, where 3-decade wait for cattle compensation finally pays off. And we see the president here presenting a dummy check to claimants of livestock lost during the 1980s insurgency at Soroti University in Soroti District at the weekend. And Acholi, Lango and Teso communities will benefit from the payout. And second right here we have Speaker now, Anita Among, and Vice President Jessica Alupo with other officials. Read the full story on page 2 of the Daily Monitor.
Yeah, and with me, the top story is here: scientists said to benefit from government enchantment, and civil servants to get 400 billion shillings rates. That is full story on page 3. And here the top picture is the president and the vice president, Jessica Alupo. Yeah, full story on page 5. And here, Province Office of Government Valuer overhaul. The government probe team has recommended the overhaul of the office of the chief government. Full story on page 9.
All right. Now, the High Court orders government on early detection of autism, and the court says failure by government to sensitize the public about autism in children is a violation of their right to health. Read the full story on page 3. And UNEB has asked schools for S4 coursework scores, and the UNEB has asked schools to submit to it first and second term coursework assessment marks for senior 4 and senior 6 candidates. And in a March 15th letter to all head teachers, the UNEB Executive Director, Dan Odong, said the coursework assessment marks will be submitted electronically and will be considered when grading the candidates' final UNEB results for the 2022 academic year. So for those who didn't take these courseworks seriously, and their candidates will, Odongo actually says he's going to consider them as the marking these UNEB results. So read the full story on page 3 of the Daily Monitor.
Yeah, and here the economy is stable despite increasing commodity prices, says central bank. According to a report, on average, the medium-term target inflation of government was 5%. A full story on page 4.
Now, Olanya's body is set to arrive on Friday. And although the government has not yet explained the incoordinate delay in getting Olanya's body home, highly placed sources say that the hospital and funeral home bills were yet to be paid. Okay. They haven't yet paid the hospital bills and the funeral home bills, because in the States, when you die, they don't leave you in the hospital or mortuary, no, they take you to what they call a funeral home. And yes, so they haven't yet paid them, so they don't release the body until they pay.
What is not happening?
Yeah, so but read the full story on page 4 of the Daily Monitor.
And yeah, the First Lady mourns Jacob Olanya, and he says he was a noble character. He was a man of noble character, and this should bring pride to all who loved him. That is what the First Lady says. And here Chisaka explains advertised KCCA vacancies for parish chiefs, and she says they are ill advised to oppose an established government system which mandates the Public System Commission to recruit. That is what she says. Full story on page 6.
Now, both the Speaker currently and Deputy Speaker were once FDC, and they were recently in opposition, but they came to NRM and rose to where they are. And on page 6, the Daily Monitor asks Will the rise of Among lure more opposition figures to NRM? Well, that's a very interesting question because many opposition members have been leaving their parties to join the NRM party, and because of how quickly they get to rise. For example, Among is now Speaker, Thomas also former FDC is Deputy Speaker. So the question is supposed to actually raise off. But first wait, if you left opposition now, will you be able to do the things? Will you be able to rise through the ranks quicker? And well, the Daily Monitor dares to answer that question on page 6. So grab a copy and read much more of that story.
Yeah, and then for the people who have been asking what is the Byron program for Jacob Olanya, here there's going to release detailed Olanya Byron program to be released tomorrow, and a detailed Byron program for the former Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Olanya, will be released tomorrow, meaning Babalanda, the Minister for the Presidency, who is also chair of the Byron program, revealed this in a tweet on Saturday. Full story on page 8.
Now, there is a cover story here in the Daily Monitor that actually dares to ask a very, very serious question. And Olanya's death renews debate on Luwawa Hospital. Now, the former Speaker of Parliament, Jacob Olanya, is the second VIP to die in a foreign country while seeking specialized treatment in a space of 2 months after, of course, the back of Uganda governor, Emmanuel Mutebile. And in both deaths, government has justified, because most of the people come out and say, but why are we not having good medical care here in this country? Why do we need to fly people out? And of course, government continues to justify flying the deceased and all these other people abroad for better specialized health care. However, 3 years ago, Parliament contentiously approved a 1.4 trillion, which is about $379 million, vote from the Finance Ministry to a private investor to finance and construct a world-class hospital off Entebbe Road, a project which has remained wet in the wings. And we ask, and today the Daily Monitor again asks that question: why? What happened to that hospital? What happened to that project? It's right next to home for me, so I usually see, but they stopped construction. There's nothing going on. So we ask the question: what happened to that, and what controversies are around there? Because we already spent this 1.4 trillion, which is over $379 million. So they ask that question, why? Because it was supposed to be a hospital where we don't need to fly people out.
Everything would be there.
We just go to Luboa here at home. So read the full story on page 8 and 9 of the Daily Monitor.
Attorney General trims board's powers over Asians' properties, and the Finance Minister cannot cancel a certificate of repossession. Full story on page 10. And target continental market, women manufacturers told. Yeah, full story on page 11.
Now in regional news, Museveni launches pay for war claimants in Acholi, Teso and Lango. And the president advised the beneficiaries to use the money for commercial agriculture. That is what he says on page 26. But also in Dokolo, 14 billion projects to improve access to safe water in Dokolo. And at least 68 villages in Dokolo are said to benefit from a 14 billion project aimed at improving access to safe water in the district. Read the full story on page 26 of the Daily Monitor.
Yeah, minister wants contractor arrested for over shoddy work, and the land state minister, Dr. Sam Mayanja, wants the contractor who was assigned the responsibility of constructing Sumwe Seed Secondary School in Wakiso district arrested over allegedly misusing government funds and giving false information. Full story on page 17.
And in international news, Biden not seeking regime change in Russia, says the US. And this comes after the US president castigated his Russian counterpart as a butcher who cannot remain in power. But also the same US government is saying, no, we don't want to change it. We don't want to have anything to do with the change of power in Russia. But they also, the president himself is calling Putin a butcher who cannot remain in power. So it's a bit confusing. So what are you doing? But anyway, read the full story on page 30. But also in business news, the central bank moves to increase uptake of bonds, and Bank of Uganda is banking on a mobile solution and offshore indices to grow trade in government bonds. Read the full story on page 31.
Yeah, and then here in the court news, we know that, when you're working at Zambia, there were capitals there in Zambia. Yeah. But directors of Zambia capitals remanded over embezzling 132 million shillings. Yeah, that were responsible. Remember, they had secured them a place and their circles, they had over 350 members, and the association has attracted over 2,000 youth. But so they had deposited their money in their account, but their directors embezzled this money, and they are complaining. So we'll read full story on page 18 and see how this is faring in court.
I agree. And in sports news, one of the things you need to look out for is Tukamuhebwa knocks Brave Cirilo out cold, and this is the boxing champions league here, where in light water weight, Tukamuhebwa knocked out Pius Cirilo. And URA leave Jogos in a fix, that is under Uganda Premier League, where URA beat SC Villa 3-1, Barra City and Express drew 0-0, Toro United also drew 0-0, Odu Paraka beat Wakiso Giants 2-1, and Busoga United and Bull drew 1-1. Read the full story on page 39 of the Daily Monitor.
And then here in the sports news, Uganda Juniors head for All Africa Golf Championship, and Massini staring at the exit door. Yeah, here there is football Africa World Cup plays off first league results here. There is Egypt, there is Senegal, there is Ghana, Nigeria. So read full story on page 67 of the New Vision. Yeah, get yourself a copy of the New Vision and Daily Monitor and read more of these stories. Yeah, we're just going to go in for a short break, but we are going to come back with lots and lots of more. Don't go anywhere. Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Let's Talk is an uncensored program on Family TV that attempts to answer questions that are unanswered within our church settings. Questions like sex and money, drugs and alcoholism, prophecy and prophets in our country. So, catch us at 9 p.m. every Tuesday on Family TV as we explore different topics and make attempts to answer the different life topics. Every Tuesday with me, Emmanuel Odeke. Let's talk.
You're not alone.
Cancer has increasingly become a global health challenge.
Today, since we've sat here, I've been to the toilet 5 times.
More often, we unknowingly endanger ourselves in the illusion of indulging in fun.
You had better style up. Man, keep watching.
Simple acts of life omission or commission may cause irreversible health damage to our bodies. We ought to be aware of, and whenever necessary, to consult and get the doctor's help.
Can cancer be passed from a mother to fetus?
There's genetic science shows that it is possible for a mother to pass cancer to the child through the placenta.
Cancer is not a death sentence. Early detection and treatment can save your life. The Change, an educative TV drama series on cancer.
He must be rich, tall, handsome, from a respectable family. He must have a maid because at our home we do not work.
Conductor Masao.
Owa, obadde olobye ku ssimu?
Yamunange, anti yo TV enkolera.
Nyumirwa omulembe omupya ogujjudde ebisanyusa omuli emikutu gya TV egisukka mu 8 n'egya radio nga kwotadde ne zifirimu ng'osinziirira wonna w'oli. Genda mu App Store oteeke app ya TV channels ku ssimu yo olwo onyumirwe ennaku 3 ng'olabira bwereere ewatali kozesa data.
Yo TV channels, the power is in your hand.
Talk of the Town.
Welcome back from that very long break. Again, thanks so much for watching Family TV. Now, with the recent many deaths in this country, I mean, we lost the governor at least 2 months ago, the Speaker of Parliament recently passed on, and many other people. The people we love, the people we know, our friends, our families, every single person, at least from COVID, right? Allow me even take it back to COVID, Brenda. We lost so many people, relatives, friends, very many people. We ask the question, are we actually, as Christians, by the way, what is death teaching us? What do we learn anything from it? Or we just see it happening and that's it? Brenda, tell me. What do is there anything you learned from
death?
Like with all the recent people that are dying and whatnot, what happens to you when you see those headlines, when you see Daily Monitor saying, hey, Olanya dies at this age, or Tevide dies at this age, or whoever? Does it teach you anything?
Yeah, I would say it really does teach me something, how quickly people go to the next level. Remember when the governor died, I think he died, was it on which day was that?
I wouldn't remember.
Okay, let's give an example that he died on a Thursday. But the next, when we're reading the news updates in the New Vision and the Daily Monitor on a Friday, the headline was, what next for the
who is going? These are the contestants for the next governor position.
So how quickly people move on and forget everything that has been happening.
That's a good lesson.
Now we see about the speaker. the late speaker Jacob Olanya.
Yeah.
The next headline is like who will replace the Speaker of Parliament.
But the speaker is different from the guy. The speaker has to be there. A country can't be there without a speaker.
So they should revise that, like the Archbishop said that they should revise that before even the burial, before even they get out the corpse from the hospital. They should revise that. It's not that, because right now everyone shows that their intentions, they are fighting for speakership, they are here and they are fighting for the chair, putting in the things, so they should revise that.
I don't think they should though, because man, like you say, life needs to move on. And people need to also...
Not just quick like that.
No, that's how quickly life moves on. And people who are alive now, and for me that's my lesson, need to realize that, let me tell you, when you die, the world won't stop moving, the sun will not stop shining, the world moves on. And you see, my problem with at least most of us is, and allow me include all of us, we attach things to people. The reason we are the way we are is because maybe we really love our job now. We are not generous people, we treat people badly, we are chasing the money. Like our priority now is let's chase the money. But then you forget that the most important things now for me, I think, would be the relationships in your life, your family, your friends, the relationships in your life. And the truth is, if we focused on, particularly if you're a Christian, if we focused on the things that we have, right? Our cars, our houses. By the way, about Olanya's house, have you seen it? So is that one house or I don't know how to differentiate. Is that one house or those are different houses?
That is one house.
It's one house.
Yeah, that is one house. That is what they call a mansion.
But anyway, yeah. So we really love focusing on these other things, Brenda. I mean, we have a nice car, yes. We want more. We have a nice house, yes. Let's build 5 mansions. We have, like, we usually focus on those things, but then we forget that, by the way, life moves on.
True.
Even after you die. And you see, at the end of the day, what's your legacy, right? I think for me, what changes, and some of the things I look at and I'm like, yeah, about death is, Byron, you're going to leave all these things here.
It's vanity.
So, yes, so what are you investing in after here? Because, like the Bible puts it, our life here on earth is like a what?
It's like
it's like a speck of dust. It's like wind. It's here today, tomorrow it's not there. It withers quickly. And how much more are you investing in your afterlife? Brenda tells me she has gone to church once this year, this Sunday.
I've been praying all night.
Relax.
I've been praying all night. You should begin from where I started from. I said
also, you need to learn how to calm down because you're going to wake up all your life in heaven.
No, I don't want to calm down now.
Yeah.
Start from where I began.
Anyway, but are you investing in your spirituality? Are you going to church? Are you helping your neighbor? Are you loving
How
your neighbor?
often do you read the Bible?
Are you loving your neighbor as you love yourself? That's a very good question. Are you loving your neighbor as you love yourself, Brenda? Brenda, do you consider yourself someone who loves their neighbors? As you love yourself?
I really consider, but that sometimes it comes one way or the other. I can't say that I really do it often, but I try to do. Like, you know, that the flesh, you want to do something, but the flesh fights you until sometimes you're not doing it at the same time. Yeah. But I try to really love my neighbor. Yeah, I really
am your neighbor. Never felt that love. But
You've never.
Let's move on. But yes, tell us what you think on our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. But also on the numbers there on your screen. Feel free to give us a call and let us know what has death taught you. What is that one lesson that you look at and you're like, I think here. It's a good thing. Brenda, why do we usually focus on, I don't say things that don't matter because they matter. A house matters, a car matters, a good salary matters. I mean, all these things matter, but why do we usually put our life effort and all these things in chasing? Ecclesiastes calls it chasing the wind. why do we take a lot of time chasing the wind?
I think, like the Bible puts it right, that the spirit, there is a spirit of mammon, that is the spirit of man, of money. So I think that in this world, things that are really relevant, the earthly things, we want to shoot high, we want to be relevant in our daily life, like things that are really irrelevant, like just.
But is it wrong? Is it wrong to want to shoot high?
It's not wrong, but how are you doing it? Are you doing it the right way? Are you shooting high, but are you still preaching the word of God? Are you losing your life in the time of
I'm not called to be a preacher.
You're called to be a preacher, but in that chair that you're in, maybe you could be a manager, you can be a CEO of any bank, a CEO of any business that you're having. Are you trying to reach out to people? Not everyone is called to be a preacher. But they are teachers of the word. You can be a teacher. Not everyone is called to be a prophet, but you can be something else. Yeah, there are so many talents.
Yeah.
But in that position that you're in, are you trying to reach out? Are you loving your neighbor? Are you working yourself out and to do things that God has called us to do? Yeah, in the end of it all. And another thing that people have really forgotten is like money. Money is nothing. Let me give you an example.
It's something.
Okay,
I use it to buy salt, sugar, bread, transport. Money is something.
Let me give you an example. The late governor. His video was at Serena Hotel.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was at Serena Hotel. And in 1 week, they spent over 400 million in the video. The late speaker, Jacob Olanya, he was flown to Seattle. Washington.
Yeah.
Only one person.
Need to make
the
speaker.
Okay, the speaker of the whole country. If there were people that were flown up with him, there would be like 300 people who would be in the aeroplane. And they spent like 2 billion. That is all money. I'm telling you that sometimes money does not count.
Okay.
And
what do you mean it doesn't count? Me who was
I'm trying to show you.
I have been flown to Seattle, even though I haven't made it, but at least I have been flown, and I'm trying. So money is important. Also, that money is spent in the video.
But we shouldn't exalt it that money runs the world. Money does what? Bam, just say. Guy is sitting upright, stand like that. But today. They're going to bring him down.
But also, Brenda, just saying money actually runs the world.
It does not run the world.
And here is
me, I get sick. I'm giving you an example. Me, I get sick. I just go to my clinic and then I get well.
Because that's what you can afford. If you were the Speaker of Parliament, you wouldn't go to that clinic, you would go to Seattle.
If so, money would run the world, then we would see people getting alive, being flown, and they come back when they're alive.
Like I've said,
but
money runs the world. Money runs the world, but it doesn't give you an extension on life. When the devil, you read your Bible, you say you're going to church once.
So I read my Bible.
Okay. When God threw Lucifer out of heaven, where did Lucifer go?
On earth.
Thank you. So where is he?
He's still here on earth.
So let me also give you another scenario. When Job, do you know the story of Job? Are you sure? You can say no, I don't know.
I know.
Okay. When God was having a conversation with the devil, what did the devil tell God? Where was he before he came there? He says that God have been roaming the earth looking for who to devour. And God then brags and says, hey, as you are loitering across the earth, have you seen my good servant Job? He's a very good man. It's like, but let me first take these things away from him and see if he still will praise your name. So it means that these things, the devil, Satan, whatever, he's here, he's on earth. That's why we say the things of this world are vanity. We need them, yes, because you need money. The truth is, if you have money, life is easier.
But it does not run the world.
It does actually, right?
And it does not buy life.
That one is true. That one we haven't said it does. We just said it wrong. If you want to go to Seattle now, money. If you want to buy, if you want food today, if you want breakfast, what do you need?
Money.
If you want to go to the hospital, is it for free? Even in your clinic that you are saying, is it for free? What do you need?
Money.
If you have a girlfriend like Brenda Mahooro and
did you have to say that?
You're just saying.
Did you have to say that?
You
can give an example.
like this one.
You can give.
So you're not rich for.
You should put extraordinary.
If you have an extraordinary girlfriend like Brenda, and you know she has very beautiful hair, her makeup is legit, her outfits are always on point. Hey, my friend, when you come, you don't come with vibes of God bless you.
Vibes.
No, don't come with vibes.
Vibes.
What should they come with? Should they come with vibes? Exactly.
No, you're getting me off
Money. So I think that yes, money is important, but you see the Bible actually makes it clear that it has no problem with money, but it has problem with the love of money. When you love it, when you're willing to do anything for it, when you're willing to kill for it,
to kill
when you're willing to steal for it. I mean, if you're willing to do anything for it, then that's where the problem is, because it's taking the place of God. Anyway, point is, and allow me just finish this conversation. Point is that for me, my last remarks are, even as we live life every day, friends, let us take time off to invest in the things that actually matter, and that is life after death. Because your life here is very, 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 very short. It's like, man, today it's there, tomorrow you might not be here. What have you done in that space? What have you invested in? Have you invested in people? Have you loved people? Have you given to people? I mean, you who loves your job very much and is willing to die for it and is willing to kill for it, well, like we have seen on the governor and the speaker positions, in a day they were replaced in a day, and one day you're going to wake up and realize that, hey,
you can be replaced.
You can be replaced, and it doesn't take even a minute. Right now, you might feel very powerful, prideful. You have life. You can fly wherever you want. You can ball. You can go to the bars and spend all that money. There was a conversation on Twitter over the weekend of how much money people are spending in bars. People are spending 3 million and might 4, 5 million. They were showing us the bills.
Mostly here in Uganda.
And you will realize later on that, hey, by the way, no one cares. No one. When will the bus stop working? No, it will keep on working. Those people that you were trying to entertain so much, or you were trying to please, are the same people who will take your stuff when you die. So, those are my 2 cents. That may you be reminded this morning, even as you start the week, that focus on the things that actually matter, and that is God, your family. I mean, I know people who have not seen their family because of work for like years and years. They are like, no, my job is.
But they're not even thinking about them.
They just send them money and say, no, that's all you need.
My village is far.
Anyway, but for me, those are my 2 cents. One day you will die. Everyone, it's inevitable, you will die. And the day you die, you will realize that, hey, by the way, yeah, things will move on. People actually don't care as much as you think they do about you. So I think they only love you for your money. Anyway, let me stop talking. I'm very passionate about death.
Right here.
Yeah.
Anyway, my last 2 cents, I think, on this topic, Byron. Even another thing that we've forgotten to talk about is how parents are sure they have everything, are sure they can give freedom to their children. They never talk about relevant stuff that one time I'm going to die, and this is how life is going to be after I die. So, like, they do not prepare their children. So after their parents die and they live off, first of all, they never taught their children that a boy child or a girl child still like life goes on. You have to do this and that. You have to prepare, or you have to keep my property. You have to go to church. You have to pray. You have to do all these things. So like they forget to prepare their children or to talk about death. Yeah, they never talk about death. But you should know that death is number one. At the end of it all, we're not going to be here. And we should stop assuming that we have everything. Yeah, like I told you, like money cannot buy life. You can be flown out to any country of your choice. But when God decides that this is where your life is going to end, that is all.
Pastor Brenda, we thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. All right. The conversation continues on our social media platforms, but also on YouTube. In the comments section, feel free to tell us what you think as well. What does death mean to you? And what lesson have you learned from death, from your own, from the current state? We are actually still mourning the death of late speaker Olanya Jacob. And yeah, tell us what you think on our social media platform, but send us a WhatsApp as well on the numbers on your screen. And the conversation will continue there. We're going to go in for a break, but we're coming in the next hour with Brenda Mahooro taking us through that hour. So do not go anywhere.
You're not alone.
Cancer has increasingly become a global health challenge.
Today, since we've sat here, I've been to the toilet 5 times.
More often, we unknowingly endanger ourselves in the illusion of indulging in fun.
You had better style up. Man, keep watching.
Simple acts of life omission or commission may cause irreversible health damage to our bodies. We ought to be aware of, and whenever necessary, to consult and get the doctor's help.
Can cancer be passed from a mother to fetus?
There's genetic science shows that it is possible for a mother to pass cancer to the child through the placenta.
Cancer is not a death sentence. Early detection and treatment can save your life. The Change, an educative TV drama series on cancer.
They took whatever they took from you, wherever it is. Catch fire, catch fire.
We always ask ourselves a lot of questions. Sometimes we are faced with difficulties in our lives. Some of us may face sickness.
Jesus, let your presence overshadow me, and Lord, let every infirmity be taken away from my life.
Chinayu chinyumira. Whether it is Katogo, Chikomando, Rolex Majasa to Nyanyambisi. Man, wherever I am, I enjoy Chinayu with your team.